Hey y'all, Jessica at Pretty Prints and Paper, and I'm continuing on with my kind of professional or personal development series. I was talking last week about my journey with minimalism and my path toward creating a capsule wardrobe where I work with House of Color to identify what colors really work and enhance me. Check that out if you're interested. But this week, I'm talking about another goal that I have. Given everything that's been going on this last year, it's really made me realize how much of an impact that I can have as a citizen of the United States, and have been interested in trying to get involved with specifically local politics, knowing that national is not the only thing that you can do to be involved. I think a lot of people, at least in my circles, have been wondering, what can I do? What am I able to do on the local level? And that's where a lot of that power happens, is influenced by local folks on local elections. So I am tracking sort of my own journey towards citizenship, or more active citizenship, in my bullet journal. I am using my royal blue Leuchtturm A5 notebook, and today I'm using Crayola Super Tips and this gray Le Pen felt tip pen in my notes. I'll walk you through a little bit about what I'm doing. I'm using this book as kind of my personal development book, and tracking some of the things that I'm doing to reclaim me and myself, and hopefully this is going to be something that I can look on later with fond memories of not only the struggle but the triumph as well. So taking some notes, because I've learned that if I make them pretty, I will actually look at them. So here are my notes. I'm trying to learn more about the process and taking notes on it while I do that. The studies have shown that the more active you are in manipulating your notes, which means handwriting, drawing, and I would consider lettering drawing because it's not writing, and the more that you do that with your mind, the more that you remember. And so folks who write their notes, that is good news for us, and I'm hoping that this process helps me remember some of these things about our government. There's a movement going on in Minneapolis specifically called Give a Shit Minneapolis, which is really, really fun because I love swearing, so that's spunky to me, and have been going to a couple events in the area and trying to take notes there as well. So learning about what a caucus is, defining it as a gathering of local citizens to choose candidates for elections. And so before even like the federal, the big presidential elections happen, there's local caucuses that happen that individual wards and precincts get to choose based on the local folks who they want to represent them, and that determines who gets on the ballot. So before the official presidential ballot, there's a bunch of little votes that happen along the way, and the sad thing is that, like, apparently in 2013 only like 3% of people showed up who are registered voters, and depending on who shows up to that sways who the candidates are. And so especially people who don't know about these events, if they're young people, if they're people who are usually working at those times, those are certain groups of people. And so making sure that we represent and come out and go to this 2-hour event to cast our vote. So the event for my ward and my area is Tuesday, April 4th, and I'm marking it down in bright green so I remember that, and figuring out where that is. And this website, it's really cool because it is telling me about making it pretty easy for me to figure out what to do in general terms. It looks pretty, it's easy for me to follow, and so I'm starting my to-do list on the side. Whenever I take notes, and this is for work as well, I take my general body of notes and then I separate out the to-do list on the side to organize the task boxes. And so I'm writing things down. I need to register for caucusing online, and they make that pretty easy. They make it pretty easy to find your ward and where your precinct is and where you go for this caucus. And they've organized some local events, some grassroots events, organizers, to learn about the process. So I'm going to one hopefully tomorrow to learn about the steps of caucusing and what it means and what to expect, because I think that's what scares a lot of us, is that we don't know what to expect, which is also why I need to watch the video so I can come into that event with some background knowledge and have better questions to ask. Researching the candidates, that's going to be huge. I've learned that these are the major races that are going on locally: mayor, city council, and park board. And I didn't exactly know what city councils do, right? So researching that a little bit to find out that there's 13 wards in Minneapolis and that there's one representative from every ward that works directly with the mayor to enact policies and create change in that way. And so if we have access to our representatives, then we're able to influence how they voice their votes based on how we local folks feel. So there's a page on this website that tells me who's running for what, and so I'm making notes of who's running for mayor, who's running for city council in my district, in my ward, so I can do my research on them. So I put these boxes here so I can indicate what page number I'm going to take notes on those people. I started off with the first one on page 18, so I'm going to start doing some research on my own and get some bullet points as to how they enact their values and what their beliefs are on different issues that are going to affect me directly, and taking notes on that. This is what they call page threading in the bullet journal, and so you can type right in the page number and go to it, and no matter where you are in your journal, it doesn't have to be exactly back to back to back. And so if I end up doing research on Tom Hawk over on page 35, then I'll know based on this that it's on page 35. That's how you get around some of the sectioning of notebooks. Lastly, when you know who your folks are, your representatives, sometimes what's kept me from voicing my opinion is there's an extra barrier when I have to call or when I have to email, right? Look up who those people are. Well, there's an app for that. So I learned about this app through a friend. It's called Countable. And it's pretty easy. You type in your address to register, and it pulls up all of your representatives from your district, and it allows you to select issues that you care about. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of things. So I went in and I selected all the things that I cared about, which turns out to be a lot, and it will show you the updates on the bills that are going through about the topics you care about, as well as allowing you to vote yay or nay on whether that bill should be passed. And those votes get sent to your representative directly so that they hear your voice. They hear the real feelings about what you believe about that bill and why you voted that way. And so you can type in an optional message that gets sent. And I've gotten a confirmation email in my inbox that has confirmed that my votes have gone to my representative. And so it makes that really, really easy. It has like a contact button that makes it directly connected to your email, and then can send your messages to those representatives. And so you can actually do something. And I know a lot of us feel like, oh, what's the point, or I'm just one in a million, or whatever. And if so many of us believe that, then nothing happens, and then you have lost out on your opportunity. So on my path to citizenship, I know that there's so much more that I can do. The same way that I tell my students that they need to exercise their power in the fullest capacity, I know that I need to do the same. So this is my attempt in order to do that. So whatever your process is, I hope that you can take some interest wherever you are, wherever you're at, and can bring some people along with you on your own journey. I know it's taken me a while to get to it myself, but I am excited to continue logging this in my journal. I'll be taking notes at tomorrow's event to learn about caucusing, and using, my lettering skills and bullet journal to at least make it something I can revisit and look back on. Caucuses, you get together and you choose who the candidates are that your ward wants on the ballot, and then people can volunteer to be delegates for those candidates. So if I find that I really support one of these people, then I can volunteer to be a delegate and go to the ward convention to represent and vote for and work on behalf of that particular candidate, and then can run again to be another volunteer delegate at the city level in the summer, and then that's where people really decide who gets to be on that ballot. So there are some pieces, but I'm slowly learning more about it. I don't know that much yet, but I wanted to at least show you that it's possible to learn little things and make it look pretty along the way. So I'll keep you posted as to what this turns out to be, but that's where I'm at today, using your bullet journal for notes and logging down the things that are important to you. These notebooks are such tools, but also a kind of a log of our own journey and whatever is important to you at that time. And this is important to me in this time. So another way for you to use your journal, another way to make it you. I hope that you are finding your own path as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, whatever. But I just hope that you enjoy it. I will see you in my next video. Bye.